Hello, everyone. My name is Becca Speert. I'm a spiritual life coach, a faith activator, and a miracle facilitator. And I've been a life coach for over a decade. I support people to mature emotionally, spiritually, and to learn manifestation skills. And I use astrology as one of my many tools to help people understand themselves better. I get the question all the time, if astrology is real, then how can we change our destiny? How can we change our fate? And the answer is kind of complex, but the way I see it is that astrology is the path of least resistance. If you're not paying attention to yourself, if you're not paying attention to your life, and you're not intentionally co-creating with God, then astrology is the path of least resistance. It's what's going to happen at a baseline. But if you use astrology to acknowledge what's going on, then you can start to take actions and shift your mindset and your behavior to align with the reality that you want. When I work with clients, I use a 3-step process. I call it acknowledging, allowing, and actualizing. And astrology helps with the first part, acknowledging, looking at what is, really understanding the fine-tuned nuances of yourself, of the different energies that are available to us and what's going on in our life, looking at our patterns, our habits, what we see happening over and over again that maybe feels like it's happening to us. I help people to understand what it is within us that may be participating in some of these patterns. Now, a couple of months ago, I was asked by Nadiya to make a video, and I was so excited because I've been watching Nadiya, I think, for over a decade. I believe that when I first found out about YouTube, she was probably one of the first people I subscribed to. And one of the things I loved about her was the way that she holds astrology with such reverence and divinity and kindness and heart. And when you're using astrology from that lens, it can be really beneficial. But sometimes clients come to me and they say that other astrologers have scared them or created doubt or concern based on what's in their birth chart. So when you're looking for an astrologer, I just want to put in a little disclaimer. I'm going to have a couple of disclaimers in this talk, but it's really important that you tune into the person you're hiring. Make sure that there's a soul resonance and acknowledge, is this person making me feel more empowered or disempowered? Because depending on what our lens is, whether we're a practitioner or a client or both, we're going to see through our lens. We're going to hear what we're ready to hear. We're going to see what we're looking for. And so it's very important that you choose somebody with the goal in mind. If you want to feel better, find somebody who has an optimistic lens. No, nobody wants to feel worse. So just take it for what I've stated so far. But a couple of months ago when Nadiya invited me, I was thinking about what topic would I want to talk about. And I thought I should talk about manifestation and astrology because I never see the two merged. They're always talked about separately, like they're two separate things. You either believe in astrology or you believe in conscious co-creation, and I believe in both. And I'd say a few days after I decided that was my topic, one of my other favorite astrologers, Kay Moon, released that she was going to be holding a workshop called Manifestation Mastery. So I was really excited to be able to hear her perspective on it. And she talks a lot about the 5th house, which is naturally about our inner child and our creativity. So it would make sense that it would be also our creative sector, right? Creative with the universe. So I really agree with her on the 5th house. And I'd also look at the 9th house because that also governs higher thinking and wisdom and philosophy and religion. And the 12th house, I tend to think of the 12th house as a house of prayer. So I like to look at the 5th, 9th, and 12th and see if there's any strength there. We don't tend to think about the Earth as a planet when we're looking at planetary transits or planetary energies. And we do look at Earth energy throughout the zodiac signs, but she had a good point about the planet Earth. We know that Mercury tends to govern thinking and Venus tends to govern luxury and beauty and the things we're attracted to and music and arts and things like that. So we're looking at all the other planets, Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto, but what about Earth? Well, Earth is the planet of manifestation, she says. And this makes so much sense because as far as we know, in our solar system, we're the only planet, Earth is the only planet that has humans on it. And as far as I am concerned, I've thought about this a lot. We are the only animal, the only being that is on planet Earth that consciously creates, that manifests. So it would make sense that Earth is the planet of manifestation. Now, most software doesn't show Earth in your chart, but it is directly across from the house that your sun is in, if you want to look at it. And so you can start to look at what zodiac signs govern each house, the 5th, the 9th, and the 12th, and what where those ruling planets of that house reside, and start to look at the energies there. Now, this is a bit of an advanced concept, but please bear with me for the rest of this video. I want to talk about this acknowledge, allow, and actualize process. So when we're looking at our chart or looking at transits and consciously creating with manifestation, mental health is first and foremost. I'm going to say that again. Your mental health is first and foremost. If you are similar to me, I started listening to astrology because I was in a place of feeling vulnerable and lost, and I wanted answers. I wanted motivation, and I wanted to know what was going on. So this can become quite addictive and quite disempowering if we're using astrology as a tool to tell us what to do or what to think or what's going to happen in the future. So I really want you to be mindful of, if you're interested in creating a reality that you love, that you want to be intentional with your future, don't use astrology for predictions, and don't use astrology for idolizing it. So, fundamentalist religious people will say that astrology is idolatry. And they'll forbid you from, or at least encourage you not to put it above God. And for a while, I thought this was just nonsense, but there's a lot of truth to it, because if we use astrology and look to it as if it's more in control of our life than we are, we can get into a spiral of disempowerment. And that's not what I want for you. And I don't think that's what you want for you. So after we've looked at where in our chart we have strengths, we can look at where we have areas for room for improvement and start to enhance that. And when we look at our chart for personal development and become more of a healed person, we're all born whole, but if we start to function as a whole person, what happens is we become a miracle vessel. And when we anchor into who we are and anchor into a higher power, we become a manifesting machine, and things just come to us. And this is the allowance step. So acknowledging who we are, what our strengths are, healing what needs to be healed, getting to a place of wholeness, we can then become this platform for miracles and desires to come true. When we're most true to ourselves and we're most in coherence with our heart, mind, and soul, then manifestation becomes effortless. The universe delivers it to us. And so I like to describe astrology like surfing in the ocean. If you know how to catch a wave, you can ride it and you can enjoy it. But if you don't know how to work with the ocean, it can overcome you. You can get, pummeled by the wave and slammed on the bottom of the ocean and be coughing up salt water. And it's important to know the lay of the land, know yourself, know your environment, know the laws of the universe, so that you can really navigate life with the most joy and ease and bliss possible. And astrology is available to all of us to do that. So the moral of the story is astrology and manifestation absolutely can be used together. And the final step is actualization. So when you've done all that work, when you've witnessed what is, when you've gotten yourself coherent and receptive, the universe delivers. And that's when it's fun, because we can look at these positive transits and know that they're actually going to deliver us much more than we ever expected. And when we see that there might be transits for more rest, or there might be some more challenge, we know how to take care of ourselves so that we're not taken over by it. I hope that some of this rang true for you. And if it did, I would love to hear from you. Please comment below, like the video, share it with somebody else, and feel free to reach out to me personally if you'd like to get to know me better. Thanks for listening, and thanks, Nadiya, for this opportunity to be on your channel, and I look forward to working with you more in the future.